AutoGeek.net has everything you need to keep your vehicle looking its best. Mothers, Meguiar's, Wolfgang, Diamondite, 3M, Pinnacle, and more. AutoGeek.net carries over 60 brands. AutoGeek's selection is huge. Our prices are low. Our expert staff can answer any question you have, and we ship right to your door. AutoGeek.net. We are car care.
Hey, Mike Phillips here, down at Autogeek Show Car Garage here in sunny Stuart, Florida. And tonight we have a really special project. This is a friend of mine, Tim's 1957 Chevy. And while it looks pretty good, it actually has a lot of scratches. And we just did the baggy test. It needs to be clayed. So what we're going to do is what I call a show car makeover. That's where we take a car that's actually in pretty good shape and take it to an even higher level. Now, it's easy to get a dramatic before and after difference for something that's neglected and really in bad shape. It's actually harder to take something that looks pretty good and take it to a higher level. So we're going to go ahead and work our magic, and I think you're going to agree when we get all done, this car is going to come out looking like it's got a brand new liquid wet paint job. Before we get started though, I want you to remember that there's the watch and win game taking place. And that means whenever you see the secret code, the first person to post to the forum, to reply to the thread, is going to win some really cool prizes, and my good buddy Nick's going to send those out to you. So be looking for the secret code. When it shows up, reply to the thread. First person to reply wins the prizes. Now we got a couple other things going on here tonight too. My good friend Tim, come on in here Tim, he wants to give a shout out to his buddies at try5.com. Go ahead.
Yes sirree, 57 born to run. Find this as a sticky as of tomorrow. Thank you Tim. Thank you, Randy, and thank you, Otis, for allowing this to happen. Try5.com.
Yeah, and Autogeek appreciates that too. You know, while we are the world's largest online distributor of car detailing supplies, we're also all about education. And if you go up to our forum, you can find articles on how to do this. You can find videos, and of course we do our Thursday night projects down here. Sometimes they're live broadcasts. And we also have a detailing boot camp class right here in Stuart 3 times a year, where I teach a full 2-day class that goes over everything from inside and outside to learn how to detail your cars, whether you're doing this for fun or you want to get into doing this for money. Anyway, the first thing we're going to do, even though this car looks good, is we're going to wipe this down. Now this is important. We want to remove all the loose surface dirt and dust, so when we go to the claying step, we don't grind that dust into the paint. So you guys ready to go? Let's get started. And to do this tonight, we're going to use a brand new product just launched by Pinnacle. This is the new liquid crystal waterless wash with Carnauba. And so what this does is it allows you to get your car clean without having to drag out a hose and a bucket. And guys, if you're using this and you got any comments, go ahead and just let us know what you think about it. Okay, and just real quick, let me introduce some of the people down here. This is my good friend Robert from Impressions Detailing. He's over in Palm City. If you need your car detailed, he's really good at it. And of course, you know, he's been to my detailing class, so he knows what he's doing.
I learned from the best.
Over here I got Tim. Tim is the owner, of course, and Tim's been coming down helping us with a lot of our extreme makeovers and show car makeovers, and so he's bringing his detailing skill knowledge up and his ability to actually do this kind of work. Back, Louis, raise your hand. Louis was on our TV show. On our TV show, he had a 1986 928 Porsche. That's the one with the aluminum V8 in the front of the car, the one I like. And he's been coming down here pretty often, helping us with a lot of our extreme makeovers, and he's also become very, very proficient with machine polishing. Just behind him is a new guy to our project nights. That's John. And you'll be seeing John down here with his car in the future. Now, John drives a 1965 Mustang Fastback GT, and there's some pictures of it up on the forum, but John's car is painted Viper Red, and it's almost perfect except for it has some sanding marks. Hey, thanks, Earl. Here's Tim. Tim just wanted to bring this over and show me that, again, while the car looks good, he's just, how much did you clay there? Just half the hood?
Not even half.
Not even half the hood. Look at all this black gunk he's pulling off. And this just goes to show that even show cars need to be clayed once in a while. Okay, go ahead and knead that and then start over again. And then, hey Tim, or Paul, raise your hand. Paul, way back there in the back. Paul is a mobile detailer. Mobile, right? Mostly marine? Marine detailing, and he's attended my detailing boot camp class, and he's been coming down helping us with a lot of our projects. And then we got Jeff. Raise your hand, Jeff. Jeff is a professional mobile detailer. And what areas do you cover?
St. Lucie, Martin, Bureau.
Okay. And you
Anywhere else if you pay enough.
yeah, anywhere else if you pay enough. But you offer both inside and outside, right? Anything person wants, daily driver, show car work, you can do it.
Absolutely.
And Jeff is one of these guys that he's been working with us long enough. I always say this about him, but I would trust him blindfolded with the rotary buffer. He's that good. So now that I've done talking, let me get up here and see if I can just help a little bit. Hey Tim.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever have the bumpers on this thing re-chromed?
No, I believe these are aftermarkets. It's tough to say.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah, but the quality, you know, the jury's still out.
Well, from 5 feet away, they look beautiful.
Yes, this is definitely a 5 foot to 7 foot car.
Not for long.
No, after the tutelage of Mike, it'll be much nicer. Certainly.
Okay, one of the things we're going to want to do after we get this thing clayed is we're going to want to tape off a lot of the trim that could be contaminated with splatter. We also want to get the windshield here covered with the beach towel tip, because I'm going to be using a rotary buffer up here. And just so you know, if you go to the thread, you can actually see some pictures of the scratches that are in the paint. So you can have shiny scratches. Our goal is to try to remove as many of them as we can. And has this been clayed from here over, Robert? Has this been clayed?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. Well, one of the things I did the last time Tim was here is I took the Delfesco Positest paint thickness gauge and I did some measurements. And this paint job is just all over the board. If you can you read that?
I didn't do any of this.
3.7. Now watch this. 29.6. Okay, so that tells me that there's probably some body filler in this area right here. Now if we come over here and measure, we're at 3.7, and I'm just going to come down this panel. 9.0, 4.1, 4.0, 3.5, 3.0, 2.4, 2.2, 2.1, 2.1, 2.4. So some of the paint right here is actually pretty thin. Now, if you've got a 3M Post-it note around, take and hold that between your fingers. A 3M Post-it note is approximately 3 mils thick. And so the paint right here is actually thinner, okay, than a 3M Post-it note. And that includes any primer plus this single stage paint. So that's pretty thin. So we're going to want to be really careful when we're working around this car. Also, I did a little testing up here before we started, and typically single stage paints are known to be softer than base coat clear coats, but that's not always true, and you won't know until you do some testing. I did a little testing up here using 3 different tools. I started out with the DA polisher, it was the Grille's Garage, then I went to the Flex 3401, then I broke out the Flex PE14 rotary buffer, and just from experience trying to polish and remove some of the scratches here, I'd say this paint is actually pretty on the hard side. The scratches are coming out with great difficulty, and it's really important that we don't get the paint too hot, because that's called destructive polishing. So we're going to keep an eye on that too. Hey guys, where are we with the claying?
Well, this door
Okay.
has to be done, the quarter has to be done. I guess this other half of this hood has to be done.
Well, I'll get the other half of the hood. I just need to get a clay bars on.
You are mine.
I'll get one.
The other half, well, Mike said it's going to be done. But this door has to be done. You'll see lots of flaws in that roof.
Hey, then for anybody out there that's never clayed, let me just go over a couple tips for how to clay the proper way. In my life, I have seen so many wacky ways people use detailing clay. A lot of times I see them pull it right out of the package. It looks like a bar of soap and they start rubbing that over the paint. That's incorrect. I've seen little chunks about the size of a wine stopper. And what you want to do is take the clay out of the package and form it into something that looks like a small pancake. And that way this will fit across the face of your hand. And what this enables you to do is get the claying job done fairly quickly, because look how much of a footprint you have here. If you're using a little small section, it's going to take you forever to clay the car. But to do this, what you want to do is take a clay lube. I got the Pinnacle clay lube here. And you always want to use an ample amount. The word ample means use enough to get the job done. So I'm going to put some clay lube down here, put some right onto the clay, and then here's a tip. Don't put your fingertips on the clay patty, put them just past it like that, okay? And the reason for that is because without thinking about it, you always put more pressure on your fingertips and you'll push a hole through your clay. Then you have to stop, re-knead the clay bar. If you put your fingertips past the clay patty without thinking about it, you put equal pressure over the face of your hands and you can clay till you decide to stop claying and re-knead the patty. And then when you do this, it's a fast hand motion. Now I talked to a guy the other day ago, actually it was at SEMA, and he said, you know, Mike, I tried claying, it didn't work. And I said, well, how did you do it? And he kind of showed in the air, and I said, here's your problem. You moved your hand too slowly. He was moving his hand real slowly because he never had anybody to show him how to do it. Correct claying looks like this. It's a quick movement. You want to get down there and get busy. And it doesn't really matter if you move your hand in straight lines or circles or even make your name. The point is to take the clay bar, rub it over the paint, and if there's contaminants on the paint, at first you're going to feel the clay bar dragging. Okay, that's because it's abrading those contaminants off. And then after it removes those contaminants, it will start to glide effortlessly. Yancy, you just saw me do this slide. Look how bad this is. This was just 1/2 of the center of the hood on this 57. That is the real deal, okay? And a couple of things about these contaminants. The contaminants you find on your car are, they indicate what's in the air over your car, because it's what's in the air that lands on your car and settles, and if it's not removed in a timely manner, it actually bonds to the paint. And it won't wash off and it won't wipe off, and that's why you need to use something like detailing clay to remove it. Now when I look at this is kind of a black color, and that could be industrial fallout. Heck, that could be Tim using a can of Krylon spray paint, painting the frame rails on something in his garage, because he's a
That's what I've been doing.
Because he's a car guy, and car guys do that stuff. But if you don't keep your car covered, Tim, then it lands on the paint. Now here's the problem with above surface bond contaminants like this, is A, they create surface texture, and I think we can all agree that a great looking finish is a glossy finish, and gloss comes from smoothness, okay? So if you've got texture, if you got contaminants on your paint, you're going to diminish the gloss. So you want to get that stuff off. That restores the gloss. The next thing that the contaminants do is they hinder the ability of any wax you want to put on to actually get to the paint so it can stick to it. You know, one of the most common questions people ask me is, Mike, how often does Brand X wax last? Well, if the wax, no matter what it is, can't get to the paint, it's not going to stick very well. So by taking the contaminants off, you're going to enable your choice of wax, synthetic paint sealant, or these things we call coatings to actually get to the paint where it can bond to the paint, and then it'll last as long as the manufacturer states it will, assuming you wash the car carefully. So that's another thing about claying, is it helps your wax last. There's another reason you want to clay though. We're getting ready to machine polish this car, and anytime you're going to machine polish the paint, you don't want anything getting trapped between your pad and the paint, because that could put swirls in as you're trying to get them out. So claying removes above surface bonded contaminants, and it keeps them from getting trapped between your pad as you're machine buffing. Well, I can really feel a lot of contaminants on here. Now, another question, just while I got you on the internet there, is sometimes when people say, well, if I'm going to machine polish the paint, won't machine polishing remove the contaminants? And the answer is, if you're using any type of foam pad, the answer is no. And the reason why is because typically a foam pad is gentle to the paint. It's just going to glide over the contaminants. It's not going to kick them off. So it'll make them shiny, but it won't remove them. So claying is the most effective way to remove those contaminants. Now, if you're using a wool pad on a rotary buffer, heck yeah, that's going to kick them off because that's a very aggressive pad and it's a direct drive rotating tool. So it's going to kick off all those contaminants. But for a lot of us who are out there just an enthusiast or even pros using more gentle foam pads to buff out the paint, then you need to clay it first to get those contaminants off before you start machine compounding or machine polishing. How we doing, Jeff? I'm probably better at talking than I am working, huh? Okay, where did you get this off of? So this came off the roof. Yancey, can you bring this in real quick? So Jeff went up and clayed the roof, and again, that's a horizontal surface, and just look at the gunk coming off there. Yeah, so already, I mean, wouldn't you guys agree already the car looks better? Because the car looks glossy, and the reason it looks glossy is because we took all the contaminants off, plus just the act of wiping something over the paint and getting it all the dust off improves the finish. Okay, so now we're ready to, let's get the beach towel tip going on. I see these guys are going nuts with the tape. Here you go. And then we'll get the machine polishing stuff going. Where's my black cart? Yeah, I want the pirate towel. Let's get the ARG. Well, we're in Stuart, Florida. If you're going to run into a pirate, this is where you'd run into him at. Okay, so this is called the beach towel tip. This is something I've been using for years. I share in all my detailing classes. And go ahead and finish this, Jeff. I'll just tell you what this does. Anytime you're using a rotary buffer, what happens is even if you're really good at this, as your pad becomes wet, you'll have a tendency to throw a little splatter off to the side. So in the case of the windshield, you'll get splatter all over the windshield, on the wiper blades and the arms, and these are chrome and stainless steel. And if you don't cover this up, then you got to come back and wipe all this stuff off. Now, I don't know about you guys, but here's what I find when I get splatter dots on the windshield. When I go to wipe it off, it seems like I wipe some of it off, and a lot of it I just move it around. And that becomes real annoying and frustrating. I'm kind of lazy, so I don't want to do that. So I don't want to get any on in the first place. So this is called the beach towel tip. And the reason we use a beach towel is because a beach towel is longer, and most windshields are fairly long. A normal bath towel won't be long enough. Okay. Hey, Louie, how you doing?
All right, my friend.
You ready to pull that transmission out of that Corvette yet?
With the crippled wife, I'm getting better at it.
Me and Tim will come do all the work.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the new lift now. The job is easy. Couple bolts. He's got the tranny jack.
Okay, so what Louis was doing is classic cars like this, they have this stainless steel trim that encases the windshield between the top of the roof here. And again, when we're machine polishing, what we don't want to do is fill that gap up full of polishing residue. So we just tape that off. Also, there's a rain gutter here. Classic cars have what's called a rain gutter. So when the rain hits the roof, it follows this channel down the back of the car instead of coming in your window. And this thin edge here, a lot of times if you walk around and look at classic cars at a car show, you'll see it's all burnt through. And that's because someone didn't tape it off. So what we're going to do is tape this off. Plus, we're going to be real careful anyway. But it's this thin piece of metal here that a lot of times when you're running a buffer, the backing plate or the pad itself will hit this and burn the paint off. Okay, you ready over there? Let's center a Jolly Roger up. If it's close enough. That's because this is a 57 Chevy. This ain't no Toyota Prius.
I thought it was a Camry. Huh? My business.
Down the road, I'll address that.
So even my beach towel tip, the towel's too small. Okay, so let's take this and
Roll the bottom up. Roll the bottom of the towel in.
Yep, roll it underneath the wiper blades. No, pull the blade up. No. Look how I did it. I rolled it up underneath there, see? Pull it out, roll it up.
Roll it up under the blade.
There you go. And then just tuck it in.
No. Sniff the blade.
Yeah, pull the blade up and roll it underneath there. There you go.
Embarrassing myself.
Well, you just haven't done this a million times.
Again,
There, good enough.
for sure it wasn't the first time, Tim.
That I've embarrassed myself?
You're covering the Jolly Roger, man.
Yes. This is an effort for all you Try 5 guys out there to follow along and do your own stuff.
Well,
Pay somebody like me or Mike to do it.
Yes.
yeah. Well, the Tri-5 is a really large forum, had a lot of active members, and I have a few friends that hang out up there. And the thing about it is a lot of times you go to the car shows and you got the really cool looking 55, 56, 57 Chevy. When the sun comes down and hits the paint though, it's full of water spots, swirls, and scratches. And here's what I've always noticed about this is the guys that own the car, a lot of times they can pay the money to have the great painter paint it, but once they get it home, they don't really know how to machine polish. And if you've got a base coat, clear coat finish, or even a harder single stage like this, you really can't get those swirls and scratches out by hand. It break your arm, take you all year long to do it. So it's faster and more efficient to do it by machine. The key is to choose the right machine. Now a lot of guys do what we call wheeling, okay? And I think when I met you, John, or I met you, Tim, you talked about wheeling. That means using a rotary buffer. Now I'm going to use a rotary buffer up here today, and the rotary buffer is a great tool. But you don't want to finish out the rotary buffer because it tends to impart its own swirl pattern, and even though the wax might fill that in, as soon as that wax wears off, that swirl pattern is going to start to show up out in the sun, and we call those holograms, and it kind of takes away the beauty of the car. So I always recommend do all your initial cutting with the rotary buffer, but then for the last machine polishing step, switch over to any type of DA polisher. This could be the Flex 3401, the Cyclo dual head polisher, the Porter Cable PC7424XP, the Grille's Garage 6-inch DA polisher, or the Meguiar's G110 V2. All these types of tools, I'll show you what they do. Let me get one here with the really pronounced pattern on it. Could you hand me that large microfiber pad back there? Yeah. Okay, this is a brand new microfiber pad from the Lake Country Company. And I'm just going to slap it on here to show you what a DA, what we mean by the word DA. Okay, so DA, it not only spins in a circle, it oscillates inside that circle. Does that show up? No? Okay, yeah. So I was going to put a black mark on there. Okay, so that's a Flex 3401. That offers a dual action, and there's a lot of other tools that do that. Up here is a Cyclo. The Cyclo has the dual heads. This will do it. Here's a, I don't have a Porter, all the Porter cables are over there, but a Porter cable, a Grille's Garage, or a Meguiar's G110, they all offer DA polishing, dual action polishing. So do your last machine step with a DA polisher. Okay, hey guys, so we got this thing wiped down, we got it clayed. Let's get the wheel maskers. The wheel maskers are on, it's taped off. Okay, then I think we're ready. Over there are some extension cords. If you can, plug the 50 footers from the far wall this way, plug the 25 footers on this wall and run them out this way. That way we're not tripping over cords. And let's start out with the Pinnacle Advanced Swirl Remover with the orange cutting pads on the DA polishers for the vertical surfaces. And Jeff and Robert, you guys are going to give me a hand with the rotary buffer work on the horizontal panels. Hey Tim, can we pop your hood real quick?
Sure. You want to see this massive small block, the ZZ4 motor?
No, I want to tape the edges of the hood.
Just kidding with you, buddy.
What's this?
That is my sensor for my headlights.
Oh.
Line Lubetronics. Tony.
Is that an oil leak I see?
I forget his name, but the multicolor headlights. Red line. Sponsor on truck.
Oh, I didn't want it up this high. I just hold it right there. There we go. I just want to put a little tape around the edge.
Yeah, especially that edge.
Yeah. So
Weird friggin' paint, whatever's going on over there.
exactly. And what I'm doing is I'm taping the edges off because there's a lot of what looks like sandy marks. We call these, well, tracers are when you find a few. The entire hood's full of them, so they're sandy marks. They're not a few, they're everywhere. So for this first step, I'm going to jump up here and I'm going to take a wool pad on rotary buffer to this and just gently massage those scratches out. But I do want to cover these edges up because I don't want to burn through them.
Thin paint, fellas, thin paint.
Here, once in a while, maybe get a shot off. Hey guys, there's pizza over there too. Don't forget that.
Oh, that was for everybody?
That was, yeah, did you eat?
Yeah, it was all for Nick.
And thank you, Tim, for picking that up. That was very nice of you.
Well, you know what? Robert gave me the idea because he was here one night and he wasn't even having a car polished and he bought pizza for everybody. So
Yeah.
I thought it was a novel idea. Well, you know, you gotta take care of your peeps.
Yeah, you know what? You might just roll it over just because it's rubber.
Yeah, here's a tip. Anytime you're taping, bring the tape out about 2 feet or even 3 feet from where you're placing it, and that allows you to guide this and kind of stretch it to follow the curve you're trying to follow. If you try to do something like this, where you're taping, let me pull this up here. And the tape is right here next to where you're taping. It's just a lot harder to do. So pull that out and then run your tape line. When you get it where you want it, yank it off like that. Okay, go ahead and don't latch it, just set it down. That way I won't, and by doing that, here's a little tip. A lot of times you go to buff something out, trunk lid, even a door, or a hood, the panel you're buffing, have it raised, and that way I don't have to worry about running the buffer into the adjacent fender here, because right now I just want to focus on just the hood. So this is what I call a major gloss panel. You have two things in the car detailing world. You have a major gloss panel and a major gloss point. Okay, so a panel is the hood, and the reason it's called a major gloss panel is because at a car show, typically guys and gals will stand around and look at the car, and they look down on it and they see the horizontal surfaces. So this is a major gloss panel. Now the curve of this fender here, this very sexy curve, this is a major gloss point. So when the sun hits this, it just bounces off and blinds you. So we're not really concerned about, you know, maximizing or perfecting the entire fender, but we really want to make sure that the gloss points get a lot of attention. So at a car show, Tim can do this. Yeah. That's my car.
That's my car.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you guys all know what to do. Let's hear some buffers going, man. What do you decide you want to use on the hood? I got the DeWalt up there. I got another PE14 over here.
I like the PE14.
There's one with the flexible backing plate, and I can get you any size you want. Here's a larger one. If you want to go, what kind of pad do you want to use?
Let me try the hybrid and see how the hybrid looks. You got one this size?
Actually, for the hybrid, you want 6.5 or 5-inch? If you go 6, you need to go with a 4-inch backing plate.
No, let's go.
Big?
No, let's stay small.
Okay, here you go.
Because
Well, what do you? Well, tell you what. You wanna give me a hand on working on the hood?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell you what. Let me get you with the P. You want a DeWalt or P14 Makita? You like the Makita, don't you?
I don't care.
Okay. Let me give you. Let me set you with the PE14 then.
well, I'll grab the edges. You want to grab the hard flat spots. So you're going to use a big pad.
You just go have one thing for one thing.
You know, I've come to the reality this car can work. I even tolerate it from work.
Why not? So we're using advanced mode?
Yeah, advanced. I can't believe it's too big.
Okay, anything else you see we need to tape, Mike?
Nah, it actually looks really good. So, you want to help out doing a DA on the side?
Okay.
Okay, this is a light cutting foam pad. And if you feel it, that's actually pretty sharp. Here you go, buddy. And we're using the advanced swirl remover to start with. And there's a bunch over on the table over there. Hey guys, let me give you a real quick tip here. After you spread your product out, you want to bump that up to the stick. Now you're doing some abrading there. There you go. And just like you're doing, nice and slow. Okay, you don't want to get going fast. Watch old Polymer. He's using perfect technique. And try not to buff on these edges. These edges are going to be real thin points. So just buff up to them. And you want to hold that pad. See how it wasn't spinning? If you look over here, see that black mark? That shows you it's spinning. If you hold this crooked, it quits. So that shows you're not holding it flat. And guys, over here are some clean terry cloth towels to clean your pads. Jeff, what do you need? Need a DA polisher?
Actually, let me help you rub it off. Wipe it off.
Okay, help the guys wipe product off. Let me get you, yeah.
One of those orange.
All the pads and chemicals are over here. So yeah.
Yeah, I got those. Oh, I didn't see.
There's the orange pad.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's the polishes we're using is the swirl remover. Yep.
Okay. As soon as they're ready, I'll jump in there.
Okay, bring that, let me get you, tell you what, let me get you some microfibers for that cart.
New type of pad.
That's a cutting pad. It's just been washed in a pad washer, so it's not beautiful and pretty. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, here, come up and get these, and I don't got to walk in front of the camera again. Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Okay, so that's you, huh, Louis? Yeah. Okay, and that's Jeff. Jeff took my extension cord, but I'm not complaining.
And as Mike always says, check your towels for any debris prior to placing them on the car. Right, Mike?
That's right. Sometimes you're...
Even though he washes them and he folds them,
I do.
it's always good to check to make sure there's nothing there.
Yeah, and that's because a lot of times your eyes can't see what your hands can feel.
Yes. And this is the Gold Junior, right?
Yeah, that's the Gold Junior.
Which has a firmer and a softer side.
Jeff, you took my cord and you undid my tape, man.
No,
I do.
Oh, so who did that? Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of guys, they take and they tie their cords in a knot, and I always trip over that stuff. So I just put them together, and since I always got painter's tape, then I just tape them and they don't come undone. Only takes a second. Anytime you're going to use a pad on a rotary buffer or any polisher, you always want to clean it first. This is a spur. I always lock this against my leg. Bring your speeds up to about 1200, 1500, and then just run that across the face of that pad. That way you make sure there's nothing on there. Okay, you work that side, buddy. I'll work this side. I was actually going to hit that side with the wool pad. If you look at all the deep scratches over there, is that pulling them out?
See what happens. When
Okay.
I go over there, I'll
If not, then let me know and I'll come back and get them. Can you get this picking up a bead at 10? Okay, so there's a technique called picking up your bead using the 10 at 10 technique. I'm going to reverse that. I'm going to pick it up at the 4 o'clock. So I'm still going to lay the pad down at 10 degrees, but instead of picking it up over here at 10, I'm going to run that bead in at 4. That would look like this. Then once you pick it up, lay it down flat, spread your product out. Then I'm going to bring up my RPM. That's the 3 setting, that's 1200 RPM. And I'm going to start making slow, overlapping passes. I'm holding that wool pad completely flat against the panel. And I'll try not to play bumper cars with Jeff over there. A lot of sanding marks, huh? See them? So one way a person can avoid all those sanding marks is to actually use a high quality sanding paper to start with. Now this paint looks like it's been hand sanded, and if you're working on a car like this in a body shop, you should really be machine sanding. There's no substitute for machine sanding compared to hand sanding. When you're machine sanding, you know, you have a pad that's completely flat to the surface, and there's no irregular pressure. When you're hand sanding, first of all, your arm gets tired, and you're going to change the amount of pressure throughout your stroke. And so all this leads to deeper scratches in the paint that become hard to remove when you go to compound, and that's what we're working on, trying to get out all those scratches that the other guy left in there. And if you see that hood buckling a little bit, it's because I'm pushing down a little bit. We're trying to cut these sanding marks out. And then what I like to do is what I call the fight or flight method, checking the temperature. Once in a while I put my hand down there, and if I can put my hand down on the surface and hold a conversation, it's probably not too hot. If I put my hand down there and go, ow, that's too hot. So you want to let it cool down before you keep buffing and move to another area. Yeah, by the way, this is single stage paint. That's a pretty good indicator, is all the blue pigment coming off. Now, the thing I want to point out about this is if this was a clear coat, we would still have this pigment on the pad, but it would be clear and you wouldn't see it. The point is no matter what kind of paint you're working on, you need to clean your pad and get that stuff off, and I'll show you how to do that again right now.
Wow, a lot of color coming off there.
Yeah, that's your expensive paint job, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, again, this is a spur. It's a steel spur. And again, I always, since I'm right-handed, I lock this onto my left leg. I'm going to bring my speed up to the 4 setting, and then just run this across there. And not only will this kick off all that paint, it's going to kick off all the compound residue that was building up. And it refluffs your pad so you're ready to go back to work again. And this will actually make buffing easier, and it'll make the next strip of polish I put down wipe off easier. When you start getting all that gunk built up in there and you're buffing with it, it makes the stuff on the paint wipe off harder than it makes you tired. Looking better, isn't it? A lot better, a little bit better. Yeah, tell you what, I'm gonna come over and hit that with a wool pad, so. Cause this side here, it's actually coming out pretty good at the wool. I'll come over and get that. If you want to give Robert a hand on the.
You want me to go over that with a foam pad?
Probably be a good idea. As hard as this paint is, you bet. The oranges, actually, yeah. The only reason I set Jeff up with the blue is because I didn't have a 6.5 inch orange out here. And it's actually still a fairly aggressive pad, you know, if you ever felt that thing. Hey Jeff, when you go over what I've done up here, I want to set you up with a different pad for that. It's going to be a white pad instead.
You're doing?
Yeah, to go over what I'm doing, because that's actually a really aggressive pad to try to finish with. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll see if Nick will run out to the warehouse and grab one. I don't know, to me that looks pretty good because the majority of the scratches are gone. All I'm seeing now is these rids.
Well, if you see that, that's what I have.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good enough. I don't want to, you know, the last thing I want to do is have Max have to buy somebody a paint job down here. That's not our goal. What's that? Well, let's take a look. Looks good to me, buddy. Yeah, go ahead and keep going then. You just want to be careful with foam because you want a wool pad? Okay. You generate a lot of heat with the I wish I had a little cart over here. Always. Hey, thanks, Nancy. Hey Tim, you want to know, when I used to detail cars full time, I had a favorite joke. Here's how it went. No, it's worse than that.
That's the one we don't want to hear.
About halfway through buffing out someone's car, I would call them on the phone, and they would say, hey, how's my car coming along? And I would say, oh, it's coming along really good. Hey, I had a quick question for you. You got any touch-up paint? You know, like a quart of touch-up paint? And then after they had their heart attack, yeah, then I would say, oh, just kidding. doubt. Hey, he's a good worker. Hey, Paul? Hey, Paul? Paul. You remember how to clean your pad on the fly?
Yeah.
With the terry cloth? Yeah. Look over there. See that cart? Would you show Tim how to do that too? Yeah, because we got a lot of blue pigment coming off. We want to clean our pads once in a while. What's funny is when we clean our pads like this, what people don't realize is all that stuff's going on the floor. And not only am I the director of training, I'm the head floor cleaner. Yeah.
Can I borrow all these pads and finished? I think I can take my car with all these pads.
No doubt.
Don't be like your brother. That ain't funny no more.
The blue out, like he just squeezed the Carnauba out of that little branch over there.
Yes. Which reminds me, I should bring this in. This is the Carnauba wax palm leaf that I pulled from one of my trees. We won't be squeezing this later for oil. So you know where the Carnauba wax comes from.
Yeah, it's the Brazilian palm tree is what they call that. Yeah, go ahead and wipe that off if you would. Gears you got on this thing? 373. So it's a highway cruiser.
No, it's 373. They're low.
Well, I always thought 411s, 456, 511s, that's called low.
373s are kind of low.
Okay.
I got a 264 first gear on the tranny. I mean, at 60 miles an hour, I'm at 3,000 RPM.
Okay. Yeah, I know about highway friendly.
Chip football.
Did he?
Yeah, he wants your truck to go in overhaul. He said he's got a spot next week.
Yeah, I don't think that truck.
They can do that in about 4 hours.
Yeah.
No, I think he said a couple of years.
Put a cage on it and send them on his way. Yeah.
Big time, like I said. that painted this car should have been shot.
Well, what we got to keep in mind what's going on is when me and Jeff were up here taking a rotary buffer to these, we're removing thousands of shallow ones. So what happens is the deeper ones stand up like a sore thumb. You know, so your eyes notice them. Like, look right there. See that one right there? See it? Straight line right there.
Yeah.
See it?
Yep.
Okay, before I didn't even see that when we first got here because there's so many scratches around it.
Yeah.
So the more you remove the shallow ones, the ones that remain, the deeper ones stand out like a sore thumb. Your eye catches them. But I think you already know we don't want to go too far with this paint job.
No.
So I think we're going to get about 90% correction some of these. And if you ever get to the point where you're thinking, you know what, I want to get a new paint job and really take this thing and get it perfect, then get a hold of me and let me go with you to talk to the painter, and we'll talk to him and tell him what we want as far as like how many coats to put on it, and then what to sand it with, and then what to compound it with. And we'll make sure we get it done right the first time.
I'm listening to the guru. My learning the Flex Master. So you going out for the awards for being the Bruno's?
Oh, that's in California, isn't it? Yeah. No, it sounds like a lot of fun. Here, just for fun, put your hand on there. Is that hot?
Warm.
It's not hot though, is it?
No.
Nah, it's not even hot at all.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm sorry.
You know what? That looks pretty good.
You're a messy, messy theater.
Hey, you want to come over here and just go ahead and hold this thing up? And come over here, I want to get right here. Right there.
Now you're using the wool for greater cutting?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because this hood is so screwed up. And it's very visual. Because the car came with that one, and until it breaks, I ain't gonna do it.
What's that?
The radiator, he wants a nice aluminum one. Don't fix what ain't broken.
Well, you did fix the overheating.
Yeah, because I switched out the fuel pump, put in the shroud, and there went my overheating problem. My fuel pump wasn't putting enough PSI, so it was starving the motor.
That was causing overheating?
Yeah, because you're starving the motor
Yeah.
of fuel, so obviously it runs hot.
Well, I put a 2-core aluminum in my truck. That's when I lived out in the Mojave Desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I put a fan off of a 1973 Cadillac Eldorado, and never overheats. Goes to 180, stays right there.
Stops right there.
I got a temperature gauge coming off the back of the, or off the side of the block, and one off the head. Okay, so in both places it never goes over 180, never.
The off the head sometimes gives you an inaccurate reading. But
Yeah, but that shows your head temperature too if you got if something goes wrong. Okay, that's ready to wipe off.
67 Chevy.
What's that?
He put a second radiator on his hood. He buttoned it down.
Yeah.
So he had two radiators, one internally and one on his hood in 110 degree temperature, and he never overheated.
Let's pull this up and take the tape line off the edge now. Just not this, but just this edge.
That was for you, Mike.
Okay.
I haven't done anything. No,
Close. Camera's in my way.
This one's for you, Nick.
Okay, go ahead and shove that thing down. And close it all the way. How are we doing, Robert? Okay. This is going to obliterate that tape. See that tape line there?
Yeah.
Couple soft passes with this. Oops. And it is now gone. That's why I had to pull that tape line off. Okay. You see something?
Yeah. It's something that's weird in the paint that I see in the reflection of the light.
It's probably your reflection.
I didn't say ugly, I said weird.
Like I said, it's probably your reflection.
Now this, you can see where Mike has his tape line. And look, from here back didn't get done. Maybe Mike's gonna work on it.
I'll work that over the wool pad a little bit.
okay.
Yeah, Jeff was on that with foam.
Really, that's weird if somebody's using your web address. Then
I just got a whole bunch of them. I just checked the one out of the thing. It said, Bill, hey. And I got something running a whole bunch of other people.
Right now I'm only at 900 RPM. Yeah, real nice and slow.
Anything I saw like that, I just deleted it.
Yeah. Well, now that I know that, everything you send me via email, Louis, I'm sorry, I'm deleting. Yeah.
Be careful. Hey, anytime you work on these plastic parts, do not run that polish over these high points.
I went like that.
Real soft. Yeah. Don't hammer on it. Yeah.
I just go over it.
You know, the biggest reason why.
Pressure, right? No
Yeah,
pressure?
well, yeah, but the biggest reason why is because you don't know who buffed on that before you. And they might not have been careful.
Yeah. Just like the gutter, right?
Just like the gutter. Exactly right.
And yours is base clear, right? Base coat clear, sorry.
Okay, hey, let me hit that spot there. Go ahead and wipe all that off real quick. Okay. So I think he's talking about the tape line.
Right in there somewhere.
Yep, right there.
You know, there's lots of comedians out of work.
See it?
Yep.
That's good. Just needs a little more aggressive buffing is all. And this was actually that section of paint that was very thin.
Yeah, good. That's the way I like it.
Hey, can someone grab a towel and there's. Yeah, this is it's just I'm the head floor cleaner. It's probably on the bottom of my shoe, so let me stand on that. It's probably on this one.
Not on mine.
Here.
Take it off and let me.
Just here.
No, it's not there. It's not on.
Okay. Good. And then grab it right here. There. And then make that towel go away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it go away.
There's more here, Mike.
Okay. Can you give that a wipe now? Looks like it's gone, doesn't it? Yeah. See the tape line?
I feel good up my leg, John. Thanks.
And here, let me go over here.
So what he paid for this, he should have got a better paint job.
So if you're following along to any of the dialogue that's been taking place, before we started live feed, I put a tape line down here and I buffed on one side and removed about 90% of the sanding marks, left them on this side. Jeff came back using a wool pad on a rotary buffer and he didn't quite get all those sanding marks out on the side of the tape line, demarcation line there. So it's pretty visual. So I came back with a wool pad and I don't see him, but I'm going to hit it one more time. But that way there's no tape line there and we have a uniform appearance.
Did I do these orders by hand? And it was pre-folded.
Gentlemen, did you inspect it? Okay. Mike, you got a piece of light, Mike.
Jeff, did you do much of the spears here with the pad? You did? Okay.
Get a hand pad.
Can I see that?
Like blue paper?
Use a foam pad over there. Any one of them you can get
Oh,
it in.
just use a foam pad and do it by hand?
Yeah, I was gonna say this side needs wiping.
There you go.
Yeah, right here.
Very happy with you.
Hey, Tim, can you open up the hood again?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of a tricky part to get right there. And what I don't want to do is throw a bunch of splatter on your grill. So on the black card is another beach towel. Why don't you go grab that? Yeah, grab that beach towel and spread it out over the radiator and the battery area there. The rest of this, if I get it on there, we can wipe it off. But just like over there. Yeah, beautiful, man. Okay. So as I'm buffing that, all that pressure's right here. You can see where this product's coming off. It's not in here, it's not on the edge, it's right there. And on the backing plate, or the back of the pad, that's actually, let me peel it off and show you where that's at. That's right in here. Can you show that to them? So it's right here and here where it's reinforced with some plastic, and it gives it a nice cupped curve there, which gives it a lot of support. So when I push on it, I'm going to be able to cut the scratches out, but I'm not going to burn this edge, and I'm not getting too close to that tape line. Of course, getting your product in there is always kind of tricky, but let's see if we can do it again. There we go. And a lot of times, you know what I'll do when I'm working the air like this? I'll just take my finger and I'll just spread it around to the area I want to buff, and that way it's nice and lubricated. And what's cool about these flex polishers is I'm going to lock that in on the one setting. That's 600 RPM, so it's not going to really take and sling that stuff everywhere. You can see all that pressure is right here, and I'm buffing out this section of the paint right there. It's a nice it's a gentle curve on the 57 around the headlight there. But that way, this is going to be just as clear and shiny as this part that I buffed out up here. So it has a nice uniform high gloss look to it. Hey, could someone hand me a swirl finder light? Could you hand me a swirl finder light off the counter over there? There's not a lot of light in here, so I want to make sure it looks right to your right there. Way up in the, hey, Tim, right at high corner. No. Corner of the, there you go. Either one of those. There you go, bud. Thank you. Okay, and that's something that's real handy about one of these lights is right now we got a lot of overhead light, but we don't got a lot of light coming here to the side. What I want to do is I want to move on to the next step, but I'm not going to move on until I know I got this done. So I come down here, wipe this off, and then I can inspect it. You got to get all your residue off, but that looks absolutely beautiful right there. So that's another feature about something like this. It's handheld, the battery lasts a long time, and it really lights up the paint in a way that you can see what's going on.
Mike?
Yeah.
Robert said the primer's gray, not white. Black.
Yeah, hey, thanks. Tell that to Tim.
What does it mean when the paint peels? You're just about done.
You're not quite, but just about.
Just a little bit farther. It started like the guy who tried milk, right? The little boy who tried milk. Or the slicker. Yeah, walking out of that pipe. This side's coming out of that pipe. I can see where I got off and do that. I can see around it.
Whoa.
You can see how dull compared to here. I don't think this fender got done.
I haven't done the sides. No. Let's go ahead and close this.
We were just comparing the difference.
And gloss, yeah, no.
This is
So
what's here.
That's right. So this is clear and glossy, and over here it's kind of dull and hazy.
Dull and hazy.
Yeah. So whenever you're working on a single stage paint, the goal is to bring out the full richness of color. If you're working on a clear coat, you want to maximize the clarity of the clear coat so you can see the color underneath. This is a single stage, so we're trying to remove all the defects and just really amp up that color. Now, another thing I want to point out, just because I did this on purpose, but anytime you've got one of these large old classic cars like this, if you were watching me when I compounded the hood out here, I was leaning on the fender. Okay, I'm leaning on it. I got to get out there. I want to be stable. So the last thing I want to do is polish out the side, because I'm just going to put scratches back in. So usually what I'll do on these classic cars that have large hoods or even trunk lids and roofs is knock out the horizontal surfaces first, get them all the way up to wax, and then tackle the sides. Now we're kind of doing a little mix and match here because I got a whole bunch of guys working on this car, but that's how I would do it personally if this was in my garage and I was buffing it out. Hey,
Yeah, that's why that fender hadn't been.
I haven't done, because
This one was after he did this stuff.
that's because I've been leaning on it. And that's why a lot of times when I buff out a car, I wear something like Louis there. Look at his nice soft cotton t-shirt. And that way it...
No belt.
No belt, that's right. So if you are leaning on it, you know, it's actually fairly soft. It's not like a, you know, canvas or something. Okay, hey guys, where are we at with all the polishing on the vertical sides? It's all done?
It's a big roof. There's a lot of walls.
Okay, well I need to knock out this fender, and then I think we're ready to switch over to the polishing pads and the finishing polish, right? Already have?
Is that side open?
Oh wow, well you guys are faster than me. I'm just up here talking all the time, see? Okay, well we need to repolish this hood though with the DA. Except for where you did that, but the center here needs to be hit with the DA of some type. So this is what I would call a major gloss point right here, because this is where the lights at inside a building at a car show or the sun outside is really going to bounce off the outside upper curve of the fender here. So anytime you're buffing out a classic like this is a major gloss point right here. This whole curve to the top here is, but right here is a major one. So is this curvature right here. That's a major gloss point. Yep. Wow. Yeah, so this paint is what I call whisper thin. I actually saw a stuffed orange peel right here though. Yeah. No, I pointed it out to Tim as soon as it pulled in. Because I said, watch, my friend Robert will take out all those sanding bars. So Jeff, I see guys using white polish still. White, they're using So the next step is the finishing polish. That's a gray color. Yeah, so we got one more step to do. With the white, yeah. It's $700. Okay, give that a wipe. One of the things I always look at on the 57 Chevy is it's got these anodized gold trim pieces right here. And most of the times detailers will run their buffer right over the top edges because it's too easy to do if you're not paying attention. And all the gold will be burned off. And all you'll see is silver there. These are still in good shape, and I didn't burn any anodizing off when I went around them. How's that look, buddy?
That looks fabulous.
That looks good, doesn't it?
Night and day. And remember, keep the change up anodized so you don't know where down my quick. Sorry, Dan. Not really.
Lower. Lower. There you go, bud. Careful on that edge. For this section here, just push a little bit harder. Because right now we're trying to cut out the fiber cuts that the pad put in. Yeah, the swirls. This is the major area that I buffed out this section. Bring that all the way down into here. You only have to hit this slightly, but all this needs that same thing. Real slow, a little harder. Push and hold that. Put your hand down on this. There you go. There you go, buddy. Hey Nancy, I'm going to make a point here in a second. See how that does that? Okay, I'm going to tackle this half of the hood, so don't pig it all up there, Louie. Okay, so what I did was I've hit this whole hood and this tops of these fenders with a rotary buffer and a wool pad. And what I was saying earlier was you don't want to finish out with a wool pad. You want to switch over to a DA. So this is a Grille's Garage DA polisher. And what I did is I put some of that product right on the face of the pad. I'm taking some of this excess and I'm going to take and put it right here into the edge because this has a real gentle curve in here, okay, over there on the spears there on the hood. So So I want to make sure that the sides of the pad are also lubricated, not only to avoid any burning, but also I want the abrasives in there to cut out any of the swirls. So that's why I put a little extra product on that pad, was to spread that over to the sides there.
A little lighter? Yeah. A little light my refrigerator.
Okay.
Refrigerator died on me? Yeah.
So now that I've got my pad completely primed, I'm going to put a couple of drops. This is what I always call the working product, because that's the product I'm going to be working with. Okay, variable speed setting. I'm going to put this on the 5, cord over my shoulder.
I think it was made like in February or something like that.
And then all you want to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spread my product out. And I can do that fairly quickly because all I'm trying to do is spread my product out. But once I got it spread out, I'm going to slow down. Most guys that are new to machine polishing, they get that thing just a humming across the surface and it isn't doing anything. It's just skimming over the paint. Okay, so I've got my product spread out. And now, since I've already polished this, I'm going to lean just very lightly. I'm actually not even touching it. Overlap my pass by about 50%. I'm pushing down. There we go. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to cut out the wool pad, the fibers that actually left their own hologram in that paint. I want to cut them out of there. Okay, now is where I'm going to come in. I'm actually, the edge of this is hitting that curve there. And that's why I prime the curve of that. Second direction. And here's the deal. If you're using a high quality wool pad, you're cleaning your pad all the time, using high quality polishes, the swirls left by the wool pad aren't very deep, so it doesn't take a lot to pull them out. But this is the step that most guys at body shops and detail shops leave out. They skip this step. They finish with the wool pad. You go to the car show, see that car out there in the sun, and you see all these zigzag swirls everywhere. That's the swirl pattern imparted by a wool pad on a rotary buffer. Even if it's a wool finishing pad, each one of those fibers cut the paint. So this is going to take just a small amount of paint off. Okay, that's not even very blue at all, but it's going to level that surface, remove those swirls, give us that show car look that we want out of this beautiful 57 Chevy. Right, Tim? Yes, sir. Somebody up here with a 4-inch pad on that. Right in that center section, yeah. Nice work, Jeff. awesome. Thank you. Hey guys, I have white polishing pads over there for the next step. Yeah, I put everything on that table that we're using. We're just to keep everything kind of uniform, that's all. That's how to do it. One of the things I do here at work is I actually come out here and I prepare the studio for the project by getting all the products out and laying them out in an order. But I don't always explain that to everybody when they arrive.
Advanced finishing polish?
Yes, the finishing polish, yes.
Pinnacle.
Yep. So let's hit everything with that. And this here, if someone wants to come over here and wipe the polish,
That's
not
me.
right here, I'm standing here. Okay, you can knock at that. The other thing is sometimes we always talk about making a crosshatch pattern on the form when buffing out a section. But as you can see, this section right here is long and narrow. There's a gap here and a line between where the hood meets the fender. And I don't want to buff back and forth over that line. So I'm just going to run it back and forth and move it over just ever so slightly to have a little bit different path that I follow. Buffing out a 57 Chevy is a lot of fun. Can someone get me a clean terry cloth towel? Oh, I get it. Okay, so you can see the blue pigment from the single stage paint coming off. This is a terry cloth towel. Here's how you clean your pad on the fly. I'm going to take and bury this into there, push it on, and behind here I'm grabbing that and actually pulling that towel into the pad. And when I'm done, you can see it's pulled off all that pigment. And that pad, while not perfectly clean, is plenty clean to go back to work. And it's not all loaded up with two things: removed paint and polish residue that's already used up. Anyway, that's called cleaning your pad on the fly. Go check my polish. What? Oh. Yeah, I just got to knock out the side of this fender and the front of the hood. Yeah. Oh yeah, I haven't done this or the front of the hood. Thank you though, I appreciate your cleanliness. And that's because I've trained you well, my good friend.
He says the opposite. He says all you know is good with him.
That's right. Hey, I always give credit where credit's due. And just to remind you, as we work through this process, you want to keep bringing up your level of care, how careful you are when you touch that paint. That's right. Okay, gotta get that lower part now. Polish up there on that rack. The wipe off. Go back to work. Man, this thing's looking good, guys. Okay, someone's been using this 4-inch pad, clean towel. There's the excess residue, wasn't too bad. Pad's ready to go back to work. And I wanted to do that because I don't think anybody got up here by the windshield wipers. At least I didn't see anybody. What's that? LSP. We're going to use the new Pinnacle liquid Carnauba wax. We're gonna machine it. We're gonna machine it. No, we're gonna machine apply it. Yeah, afraid to fall. You bet. Oh yeah, I'm hot. What's funny is I got the air conditioning cranked down to 72 in here and I'm still sweating. Nick, you're not sweating though, are you? No, you're okay? Yeah. The mouse isn't getting heavy, is it? Yeah, okay. How about your eyes? Are they tired of looking at the monitor? Hey, I want Nick's job. Thank you.
The only one sweating is me. Nah, it's coming out beautiful.
And that's where you put that's where we put an Autogeek sticker. Or an SCP sticker if you want to be very correct. I know. I was thinking about pulling the towel off though.
What are you waiting on? Your wife's leg to get better? Uh-oh, she's been around.
Hey, want to give me a hand? We're gonna pull the towel off.
It wouldn't look bad turquoise on the bottom and gray on the top, would it?
Hey. Pull the tape off the towel because it actually comes off kind of hard. And if I don't get it off and run it through the washing machine, it's even worse. Carefully unwrap it. Okay. We're good. I missed, by the way.
Hey, you need to be over there at all?
No, not at all. Go leave this taped up, yeah. Let's run another piece of tape, pull these down real gently. Let's tape this off. Let me get out of your way, Robert. We're not.
I'm done with this side.
You're done? Okay.
I'm gonna get Jeff's later.
Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is there's a rubber gasket between the stainless steel trim and the windshield here. And we're going to machine polish the glass. Right in there. And I really love polishing the paint on cars. I hate detailing them. That means taking a toothbrush to the gaskets and the cracks. So it's faster just to take things off.
Sorry, Robert. I had to, Mike is the boss, so I do what Mike says.
You got another white pad?
And then
White pad. There's none over there? Here, let me get you one.
Here's one on
Yeah. Pads are always over here. We're using a Lake Country
Do what Robert said.
polishing pad. This is CCS. It works the same way.
That's what he taught me the first time I met him. To do what you say.
Hey, you know something, fellas? This is the first time it's been quiet in this garage for...
I missed 3 times out of 3. You can see all 3 of my tape wad balls over there. Okay, so where'd that plastic baggie go?
Oh, right here.
Tape all over it. You give it to Tim, what do you expect?
Okay, so one of the things we're going to do also is we're going to machine polish the glass. Now, anytime you're detailing a car, if you make the... Hold on one second. Louis. Hold on one second. It doesn't do any good to make the paint look great and then have the glass still be all, well, in this case, it's just got some kind of contaminants on it, just like the paint did. And while it... Uh-oh. My mic came off. I need a touch up here. I don't know what happened to it.
The contaminants are the owner? Is that what it is?
It just has contaminants, just like the owner.
I wonder how long ago that happened.
Contaminated, am I?
No idea.
So that means you don't want to get close to me, because...
Okay, so Pinnacle just launched their new GlassWork water spot remover. And this uses a glass-safe abrasive technology that'll come in here and remove these contaminants without putting a scratch in the glass. Now, I've already done this, but I want someone else. Hey, John, you're brand new to us. Why don't you come up here? Let me get you a sandwich baggie. We're going to throw you to the wolves. This is called the baggie test. Now step up here. Now normally we use this on the paint, but what I want you to do is I want you to feel the glass. How's it feel?
Smooth.
So now put the baggie test on and then fill it.
Stick.
Feel little bumps?
Oh, porous, yes.
Yeah, it feels like overspray paint or something on there, yeah. Okay, so even though I'm sure on camera and on our pictures the glass looks good, it don't feel good. So you can hear it. Hear that?
Oh yeah, the side's really bad.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and fill
Can
that.
I go on the record?
Yeah.
This is a reproduction glass by PPG. It's not original. So, bearing that in mind, it doesn't house what, something traditionally from 1957 would have insofar as chips or
Take it right behind you.
nicks.
You're good.
It's basically a brand new glass, yet still having to be cleaned and polished.
Okay, thank you for that little addition there.
Yes.
Now get out of here.
I'll be here all week.
Okay, so this product can be used by hand or any type of machine. I'm going to demonstrate by hand, but I'm going to buff out all this glass by machine because I'm a machine kind of guy. So this is a microfiber applicator pad. I'm going to pour cement on the pad, and the way you would use this is come up here, tackle a small section at a time, and actually anytime you're polishing glass, as I rub this on there, the film of product actually highlights the scum that's on the glass. And the way you use this is what I call a little bit of elbow grease. You want to come in here and actually, you don't just wipe it on, dump. You want to get in here and work that product.
By the way, your right hand is on the fender it just polished.
Thanks for pointing that out. Notice now it's on the glass I haven't polished. Okay, let me borrow this.
And what kind of towel is that you're using?
That is a gold microfiber. Okay, right there, you can actually, come in here, John, since I let you fill this before. Run your fingers across the area I polished and where it isn't. Feel the difference?
I'll use the baggie.
You can use the baggie too. But anyway, that's polished by hand. Let me show you how to do this the fast, easy way with the rotary buffer, but you could use any kind of machine. So what I would do is come up here, put some product on there like that. I got a little cutting pad on here. Could someone give me some power? It's the orange one over there. And this actually has an extension on here, and what this is for is it gets that pad away from the body of the tool so I can better see what the tool's doing. I'm locked in at 1, and let's see, I'm going to pick that up. One second. I can't hear you. Okay, what was that, Rob?
I'm sure you could use that on the inside of the glass too.
You could. Be hard to get to the windshield and the back window, but the sides definitely.
Besides, is it an anti-fog?
Feel that, John. How's that feel? We have a, this is not anti-fog. This is mostly to abrade the surface and you just get that, oh, that feels good. Get that that's completely clean. It's also going to amp up the gloss. So when you look at the car, the entire car is glossy. And that's the goal. So when people see this, go, wow, look at that car. Okay, you guys get back to work. I'll finish out the glass.
Start detaping the car?
Yeah, if we can go ahead and start detaping. Sorry, Paul. Try to knock some sense into you. Yeah, leave the tape on. Okay, right by you there.
To the wires, that's cool. Something wrong with that thing. I need to look at my car. Pick up the GlassWork
Want to get the windshield? Don't ever use that towel on paint after you wipe that abrasive off the glass though. I mean, tonight. Can you help me with that? Thanks. Thank you. You're good, buddy. Quite a bit, yeah.
Is that a hybrid pad too?
This is just a generic foam cutting pad. This one that comes in a lot of the kits for working on plastic or glass. Small and thin. I was actually surprised when I went to fill the windshield right there. I was actually surprised because it looks all shiny, you know?
So did the car when it came in.
Yeah, I know, so did the car. Well, I didn't actually expect to feel some really rough bumps everywhere.
I didn't expect to see the clay turn the plastic to turn either.
Oh yeah, no, that was atrocious. Hey, this side's done over here too. Having fun, Jeff? It's coming out good, isn't it? Can you go fix my cord? I think I'm wrapped around a DA polisher cord. You sure? Is that it? Thanks, Jeff. I haven't.
More familiar. What's the ingredient in that, you know?
Don't know.
See how they look sticking up it? Oh yeah, you can see the bubbles in the return. Hey Tim, who put a sticker on?
Hey, Tom, and hey, Louie, right behind you in the corner of that workbench is a clean pad. Did you throw that over here? That in the dirty. Thanks.
This, I had to write it down real quick because my wife called our computer.
That's never any good. Seems to be a lot of that going around. Hey, I'm getting ready to polish this glass,
we have
dude.
a mat.
Oh, a Macintosh?
friend of ours just changed my email password.
Huh.
Jim got an email from me, I got an email from a bunch of people I know, things like that. It said, my name, it said, R.E. Grille, hey. It said Tim, hey. From me.
That's really weird.
Okay.
One more section up here and I'm done. Over here.
So are we about ready to put the wax on?
Was this door polished?
That's a good question.
I don't know. I didn't work on that area.
The door was polished?
Yeah, that's right. I saw Jeff over there.
Okay, good. I just saw Jeff with the rotary buffer on the hood over there. I didn't know it was...
No, I polished the hood.
No, the other one.
Oh yeah, that's an original windshield though. It's date coded 1956, so. It is. 1956.
Okay, that one's done. Let me get right on by here.
Let me, he's not looking for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm 0 for 0 tonight.
What's a good part to use on a really oxidized boat?
For gel coat, something really aggressive. We got a couple things in the store. Lab Coat Technologies, Meguiar's, even some 3M. What have you used in the past?
I don't really get into boats,
Yeah?
but this guy's maybe pretty good. Like I,
Those boats, is it really oxidized?
yeah, like I took a wool pen and stood on the gel coat.
Yeah.
I ain't got to do all that.
Let me give you,
Sanding it down with like 50.
so a lot of guys will sand it down first to save all that compounding time. Yeah.
Do that?
Yeah, I'd give it a try. 1500. Let me hook up with you later on that though. Okay, what we want to do is get ready to put the wax on. So let's get us down to 4 DA polishers, 4 extension cords. Okay, I need a volunteer while we're machine waxing. Can I get somebody to address the tires?
Dress them?
Yeah.
Hello, tires.
Let's go ahead and pull the wheel maskers off.
That's Seinfeld, you know? Address the ball. Hello, ball. Anyway, I know.
That's really bad.
That'll work. I'm cracking too.
I'm looking for a tire swipe if you're wondering what I'm doing, and I'm not finding one.
Top on it.
I'll wear this.
No, it's a foam thing. We're going to use the black onyx tire dressing, and this is the all-purpose cleaner.
No, this isn't a bad paint job for Makeover.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab that wheel
Done
masker.
a better job.
At least I hope it can.
Okay, hey guys, give me a hand here. Let's get down to 4 DA polishers and 4 extension cords, everything else put away.
4 DAs.
The next Thursday,
2 on each side.
from now, whatever, we're coming back up here. I'll bring it back. All right.
Hey, Nick, can you go grab me a tire swipe?
For putting on wax?
Oh no, for putting on the tire dressing. They're just right there at the... So this, what you're seeing out there in the internet land, what Yancey's doing is he's coming in and showing you how nice the paint looks, and this is only machine polished. Now we're going to apply a show car wax, which is another way of saying a finishing wax. There's no cleaners in it at all. It's a type of wax that is perfect for something like this. Now if you've got an old neglected Honda or Toyota out in the driveway that hasn't been washed or waxed in a couple years, it'd be the wrong wax. You'd want to use what's called a one-step cleaner wax. But after you machine polish a finish like this to a super high clear gloss, you want to use what's called a finishing wax, and that just implies, thanks Nick, no cleaners, no cleaning ability, no chemical cleaners, no abrasive cleaners. It's all about adding protection, gloss, and beauty. Here you go. What I'd like you to do real quick, Nancy, yeah, I'm going to have Jeff, and Jeff, I really appreciate this. It's hard for me to get down on this stuff. But what I want you to do is, this is just a clean terry cloth towel. This is the new Pinnacle Signature All-Purpose Cleaner. And just go ahead and give the tires a good wipe to get off all the old dressing, any dirt and road grime. And then this is the new Pinnacle Black Onyx Tire Spray. So shake this good, and here's I know you detail it full time, but here's how I bury the nozzle into these things. That way you don't get overspray everywhere. And then just dress all the tires like that. And a lot of times the reason I like to do it this way is because typically I would never wash a car like this. When you wash a car like this, you introduce water into all the cracks and crevices. So here's a product that you can use. You can come down and just apply it by hand, wipe off the excess. It'll get everything clean, and you don't have to drag out the hose in the bucket. I mean, look at the ick we're pulling off there. Yeah, so you hit all 4 tires. And then, hey guys, who's going to be my machine waxers? I need 4 volunteers. Because I'm going to put the glass coating on. Okay, I got Tim, Jeff Dexheimer's here with us, and Louie, and Paul. Paul, you just got volunteered.
Sure enough, no problem.
Robert said he's
Glad he didn't say Robert.
Robert's worked 2 days on a big vehicle.
Yes. It's good. You roll them up like I do.
Okay, we need all 4 DAs up here, plugged in, ready to go. I got the wax pads, I got the wax.
I got 2 over here.
2 over here.
I got 1 plugged in.
Okay, bring it up here. You're good, you're good.
So which pad are we using?
We're using these blue pads, so go ahead. We need 4 cords, 4 polishers.
Got 2 cords up there already.
Go ahead and pad that up. Okay, yeah, so here's what we're going to use for this. This is the Pinnacle Liquid Solver. Now this is the brand new updated version. It's a thicker product that helps keep it trapped between the pad and the paint. It also dries a little faster, so it's going to be ready to wipe off a little bit sooner. Also lasts longer, beads water better, but more important, at least the most important thing that I look for when I'm doing this kind of work is I want a finishing wax, a show car wax, something that's not going to mute or cloud the finish. It's going to bring out the full richness of color, plus it's going to make the surface really nice and slick. What that helps you do is in the future, anytime you go to wipe this with any kind of spray detailer, spray on wax, or anything you're spraying and wipe off, your towel's going to glide over the finish, so you're not going to take that chance of marring the paint. And anytime you get a finish up to this level of quality, one of the things I have to remind myself and all these guys is At this point, every time we touch this paint, we have to bring up the level of carefulness, okay? Because any scratch at this point is going to show up. And this thing's looking pretty good. So I'll tell you what, I don't know if this has been, no, so first thing, always got to take the safety seal off.
Fire the prop guy.
Fire the prop guy. Nick, you're fired.
But you can come to work tomorrow and finish out the evening as you are.
And another good rule, anytime you're using a liquid,
Always shake it.
always shake it. If it's standing on a shelf and the bottle's not clear, you can't see if anything's separated out or not. So really shake it up good. What I want you guys to do is put these polishers on the 4 setting, okay? And let's machine wax every step here. And I'm going to show, the other day ago I showed a guy how to machine wax paint. He wasn't sure what to do. So let me show how you do this. First of all, go ahead and put some wax on the pad. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing we do with a compound or a polish. I'm going to go ahead and prime the pad. And the reason for that is, again, because the paint is flawless at this point, I don't want to bring dry foam that's spinning against the paint. And in fact, one of my buddies on the forum asked me about this just yesterday. Sizzlin' Mark, if you're out there. Remember that, Nick? He wanted to know how much wax to put on his pad. And I said, prime it like this. Then after you're primed, go ahead and put on a few drops. Now I don't care if they're small drops, dime-sized drops, or pea-sized drops. Just put some drops on. Don't turn waxing your car into rocket science. Can someone get me plugged in here? Prop guy. Can someone get me plugged in here? Okay, thanks, John. Okay, so here's how you machine wax a car. You want to go over each square inch with 2 or 3 passes. Now, when you're removing defects, you're working small sections at a time. Now that the defects are gone, you can tackle as big an area as you can reach as long as you still have wax on the pad. And I'm going to show you a little tip to see if you still have wax in your pad. But here's how I do this. First of all, this is called kissing the finish. If I take and press this down on the paint right now, all this liquid is going to